With winter approaching, I'm going to teach you how to do some basic maintenance on your vehicle. To show you, first I'm going to show you how to check your fluids, how to check your windshield wipers, and how to check your tires. Next, we're going to check our tires to make sure the PSI is alright. You can check the PSI by the sidewall of your tires. It says right here it's 35 PSI. You can find anything on your sidewall about your tires, like the size and all that. Next, we're going to check our tire pressure to make sure it's up to 35. First, we got to take the cap off the valve stand, and you put pressure gauge in there. It says 35. It's perfect. And put the cap back on. Next, you gotta check the tires for any tears or chunks out of them. This one's good for now. You can use a penny, and you put it in your thread, and if the thread can reach the top of Lincoln's head, it's still good thread. This is a good thread. It reaches the top of his head, and these tires are good. Alright, next we're going to check our windshield wipers. Well, you want to check for cracks or anything, and as you're doing it, you probably want to clean them off, because if you don't clean them off, then stuff can get into them and cause scratches in your windshield and unclean parts of your windshield, because it's lifting it up and not allowing the full surface to hit your windshield. Next, we'll have to check our different fluids. The different fluids are the washer fluid, the oil, the coolant, the brake fluid, this is .3, and the automatic transmission fluid. Next, you'll have to pop your hood. First step to that is there will be a lever inside your car. You have to pull it, and it disengages the latch on your hood. There will also be a latch in here that you must pull and lift. Make sure this is out of the way. And most cars have stands to help you so you don't have to lift your hood up. The first fluid we'll check is the washer fluid. It has a windshield outline. You usually check it because it's a clear reservoir. That fluid's good. This fluid helps get your it helps clean your windshield and de-ices during the winter if you have de-icer washer fluid. If you have a minivan or something, it also has a windshield wiper in the back. It also has a reservoir, so you might need to check that one occasionally too. The next fluid we'll be checking is our coolant. It's measured by, it has a clear reservoir that says minimum, and it has a line, and a maximum with a line. You usually want it in between or at the maximum line. You never want it under the minimum line, or your engine will get overheated too quickly. This one seems a little low, so we'll have to add some coolant. This one, you have to take off the seal. You can just dump this in directly into the reservoir. You want to make sure this isn't dripping. Perfect. You really want to be careful pouring this. Make sure your mouth isn't open because this stuff tastes horrible. Next, you want to check your power steering fluid. There's also a clear reservoir with a max and a minimum line, and you usually want it under the max and above the minimum. You want to check your oil. This is the reservoir where you add it, and it goes directly into your engine. And you pull out this. Usually you have to wipe it off before, because as you drive, your engine bounces up and down and splashes it all over. Then you just put it back in. And there's two dots. There's one at the minimum and the maximum. It looks like it's right in between it, so it's good. Next we're going to check our transmission fluid. This is an automatic transmission fluid. You usually have to do it, you always have to do it with the car running, so start the car running. Car running, it's the same thing you did with the oil. You must clean it off, and there's, instead of 2 dots, it has 2 notches in the stick. You want to be in between those 2 notches. It appears to be right between them, so it's good. Next we're going to check our brake fluid. This also has a clear reservoir because you don't really want to open your brake fluid because you can get air in it, especially when the vehicle is running. If you get air in your brakes, then it makes them really hard to use, and it makes the brake pedal spongy and it doesn't work as well. Thank you for watching my speech on how to winterize your car. I hope these tips were helpful.